All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We do a wreath laying ceremony a couple times a day. The ceremony honors the contributions and sacrifices of General and Lady Washington to our country. Now, I do have 2 volunteers. I could use a couple more. Do I have any other veterans? Active? You're a veteran, sir? You sit here. Any active military? Need one more, sir? Okay. Have you 4 stand right here. And I need this 3-part.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, at the end of the American Revolution, General Washington.
I now make it my earnest prayer that God would have the United States in His holy protection, that He would incline the hearts of the citizens to cultivate a spirit of subordination and obedience to government, to entertain a brotherly affection and love for one another, for those fellow citizens of the United States at large, and particularly for their brethren who have served in the field, and finally, that He would most graciously be pleased to dispose us all to do justice, to love mercy, and to demean ourselves with that charity, humility, and pacific temper of mind, which were the characteristics of the divine author of our blessed religion, and without an humble imitation of whose example in these things we can hope to be a happy nation. Amen.
Amen. And we also, either you grab each side, go right back and set it in between the 2 sarcophagi. Right about there, okay? If you want to turn and pause right there, so anyone can take, your family members, friends can take photos.
So this is the slave burial ground area.
Calendar that was called the Gregorian calendar. You all still use it in your day and time. And there was a one-time 11-day adjustment. So you add 11, February 11th, you celebrate my birth night, February 2 and 20. And I do celebrate that day as well. Although it happened in my 20th year, the change of that calendar. So you can imagine how absolutely confusing it was when you would provide me a date and the first thing I would say to you is old style calendar or new style calendar. It became confusing. But my goodness gracious, things have changed. Well, madam, in my day, if I would ask that question, more than 50% of people would raise their hands. What are you all doing with your time? It's a rhetorical question. But be that as it may, I believe that everything that anyone needs to learn about life can be learned by being raised on a farm. And that said, I didn't want to be a farmer when I was not plowing the red clay soil of Virginia, but plowing the 7 seas. I wanted to become a midshipman. My beloved half-brother Lawrence Washington had been a Marine. He had many friends. I was offered a commission, 14 years of age, midshipman on a frigate. My mother forbade me to take the commission. Sometimes I wonder how my life might have been different if I had joined the British Navy. Actually, I wonder how your lives might have been different if you joined the British Navy. But be that as it may, I'm raised on a farm. But that does not become my first profession. My first profession at age 14 and 15 is something very different. It's connected to the land. Anybody know what I became?
Surveyor.
A surveyor of land, exactly right. And I became a surveyor because it afforded me a living. But if truth be told, I became a surveyor for other reasons as well. For example, I was from the Washington family. We were from the middling sorts in Virginia society. I wanted to move up to the upper tier, what we called the long tails. The only way to do that was with money. Washingtons did not have much in the way of money, or something else very important in Virginia. Land, exactly right. Surveying was a way for me to begin to cobble together some of my land holdings. You understand that this gentleman owns land. He hires me and commissions me to survey his land. I do such. I give him his plat of his 10,000 acres, and I point out to him that he has another 1,000 acres of disused land connected to it. I will give him ready cash for that land. He's no fool. Do you take the deal, sir? Ready cash?
Yes, sir.
Of course you do. And I begin to cobble together my land holding. But it's not really happening fast enough for me. So in my 21st year, I changed professions. Anybody know what I changed my profession to? Soldiering. I became a member of the Virginia Regiment. At 1 and 20 years of age, I became Major George Washington. Now, how does somebody go from absolutely no military experience to major? That's a significant rank. And the answer is, I bought my commission. This is the way it was done in Europe. It's the way it was done in Great Britain. I ended that practice in the American military years later. But this is the thinking of the time. You can't have the rabble leading the army or the navy. You need to have men of means, gentlemen, whether they had any military ability or not. Some of them did, some of them did not. Misses. That makes it easier. My goodness gracious. The first thing I was going to ask you to do was to imagine yourself wearing a proper dress and not walking around in your bed clothing the way you are. Is this the fashion of your day? It is pantaloons, man. You know, Mr. Jefferson said that in matters of fashion, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. And I do believe in dressing for comfort, but you ladies overwhelm me. Be that as it may, imagine yourself wearing a fine dress all the way down to the floor. Now, the second thing, where are you from? New Spain. New Spain. You speak English very well. I want you to learn a Virginia courtesy, or you have shortened it to curtsy, if you will allow me. Heels together, toes apart. Hand over your tummy, maybe curl your fingers, tip your head coyly. Now, you are a married woman, so you may maintain eye contact. If you were not, I would ask her to demure her eyes. And you simply need to walk. Beautiful, a little bit too far down, a little bit too fast. More control. Now, a gentleman, he needs to bow. Is it true that bow is all but lost in your day, sir? This is your lady wife? She does not curtsy to you when you return home at the end of her day? You do not bow? Well, bowing is very important in my time. You know, if a gentleman is meeting another gentleman, if a gentleman meets a lady, there is a bow. You begin, have you heard the expression, put your best foot forward? Have you heard that expression? You begin by putting your best foot forward, and you turn out your toes, and well, I'm wearing boots, you really can't see my calf, but if you could, I am presenting my calf to the lady. If you're bowing to another gentleman, your calf projects your power. If you're bowing to a lady, your calf projects something else. We really don't need to go into detail now, do we? Youngins here. And so a gentleman sits back on his rearward leg and he bows. So I'm going to honor you with a bow, and I would ask you to return with a courtesy. Well done. Now, allow me your left hand. We have a very small area to work in, so please forgive me. She's fine. She's fine. We're going to take 4 dainty steps forward. Begin with your right foot on the 3rd note of music. Hand like it's resting on the head of a very small area here. Da 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 da. Turn to me. Tip your head coyly, and you're going to bob when I bow. Da 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 da. 4 tiny steps back. Da 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 da. Turn, bob. know what you're thinking. It doesn't get more exciting than this. But it will. 4 steps forward. Start with your right foot. Da 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 da. Da da da. Now here it changes a little bit. Da da da. Our hand goes in this direction. I break fingers. You give me this hand. I turn you just a little bit. Stop. Doesn't face that way. I'm going to let your hand go. This hand's still up, my dear. When I let your hand go, you lower your hands like a bird about to fly, and you hold right here. All right? Hands up. I'm going to walk back here alone. Hands up. Da, 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 da. We're now on an imaginary square, opposite corners. You're going to take 4 tiny steps. You're going to walk to where I am standing. I'm going to go to where you're standing. We're going to turn our bodies as we go. You never take your eyes off of me. No touching. Are you ready? Da 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 da. Madam, you look like you were creeping along a ledge. Give them more break. I'll come back alone. Stay there. Da 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 da. Get your head this way now. And we honor each other. Da da da. And we honor the assembly. Da da da.
Yay!
If truth be told, the minuet is a Z-shaped dance. But it's a pleasure, madam.
Thank you.
I want to tell you that
On the cruise again. What do you want to say?
That's the sun. Boat in the water.
Boat in the water. What do you see?
And boat.
See the boat. What'd you just watch?
Washington.
Yeah. What was mommy doing?
And dancing.
Dancing with George Washington?
Mm-hmm.
She was? Tell us about that.
And George Washington. And George Washington did the dance.
Awesome. Thank you. Good job. Love you. To dance with George Washington.
It was an honor to dance with the General and first President of the United States.
You're gonna get a kick out of this. So we get I bought her black tights.
Well done out there. I want to see more curtsying around the house.
More tipping, more cordial-like, more ladylike. Bow, curtsy, welcome home, master of the house.
So we're on the cruise again. It was half price day. So we thought, why not? It's beautiful. You're going to see all the fall colors out here on the Potomac River. We were just over there on the Pioneer Farm. That's where I do a lot of the Colonial Days stuff. And you can see the beautiful colors. So there's Mount Vernon from the Potomac River. So here we are, we're still on the boat cruise. You can see how absolutely gorgeous it is.